Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing gold trimmed with black and weighing in at 149 1/2 pounds. His professional record, 34 victories, including 22 knockouts with 6 defeats and 1 bout even. Ladies and gentlemen, from Broussard, Louisiana, here is the challenger, Jason Papillion. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red with white, weighing in at 153 1/4 pounds. His professional record, 42 victories, including 24 knockouts with only 3 losses. From St. Petersburg, Florida, ladies and gentlemen, the reigning, defending IBF Junior Middleweight Champion of the World, Ronald Winky Wright.
All right, you're both giving your instruction in the dressing room. I want you to listen to my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Any questions over here? You got any questions? Touch them up, guys. Good luck to you.
Bill Connors has given the instructions to the fighters, getting set for round number 1. Set for 12. IBF Junior Middleweight Championship of the World on the line. And you see, now has become a common practice, the human billboard, some advertising on the back of Ronald Winky Wright. Papillion in the gold trunks, Winky Wright in the maroon trunks with the white trim. Actually kind of a crimson red.
Little feeling out process to start the fight. Not surprising.
Winky Wright is southpaw, and Papillion will have to contend with that. Winky Wright, known for solid combinations to the body. Very effective with the hand speed, both inside and outside. Good maneuverability, always on balance, and he's been that way since the outset of his career. Very impressive early start to his professional tour.
And he's flicking that right jab out, which is something that he needs to do. Papillion thinks that he can land some right leads as the fight moves on. And neither fighter with tremendous punching power, by the way. But there should be some good action, though, once they warm up a little bit.
Of course, one of the keys, if you're watching this fight, is that Papillion, contending with the southpaw style of Winky Wright, has to keep his foot on the outside of Wright's lead foot. Always considered a key when dealing with a left-hander. And so far, he's true to the task. He's been doing it.
One thing I don't think Papillion wants to do is to get caught on the ropes, and a couple of times, like right now, that's almost about to happen. But Wright has been content to let him off the hook, at least in the early portion of the fight.
Both fighters appear to be very dry. Sometimes a sign that you'll see a flash knockdown when that first good punch is landed in the opening round. Papillion content so far, Ed, to back himself up against the ropes.
Throwing very few punches. You know, he came up and tried to land a left hook here, which was short, and there he went to the body. But even though he's a little bit shorter, he's got a slight reach advantage over Winky Wright, so it shouldn't be a problem for him to get inside.
Minute to go in round number 1. As you mentioned, the feeling out process, not too much being felt so far, as we've seen very few punches landed in this opening round. Winky Wright's been coming forward, and there's a good body shot finally landed by Papillion.
Papillion is an experienced fighter. Although he just got caught with a right hook, as you just saw against the ropes. But he's an experienced fighter, and he can go upstairs and he can go downstairs, and he tries to put together a combination there. But I don't know that he's doing enough to win this or any round if he fights tactically throughout the course of the evening like this.
About 30 seconds to go in this opening round, scheduled for 12 for the IBF Junior Middleweight Championship. Winky Wright hasn't really opened up yet. Papillion pawing away at the body with the left hand, doing a little probing here in the final stages of round number 1. Misses with an overhand right. And Winky Wright always on balance, as I mentioned. A good defensive fighter also. May not have the big knockout power, but a versatile fighter who's fairly adept at virtually all phases of the game. Final seconds, round number 1. Winky Wright and Jason Papillion. Round number 2 of this championship battle. The jab looms key for Winky Wright as he builds his case to retain his championship belt. Jason Papillion in the gold trunks. Not many effective blows landed in round number 1. I give a slight edge to Winky Wright, here to be the aggressor, and he's always been very adept at ring generalship. As he finally lands a left hand and backs up Jason Papillion in the early stages, round number 2.
And once again, Papillion gets hit with that left hand because he stays on the ropes. He needs to come forward like he does there and go to the body and stay in the middle of the ring. Papillion does not want to get backed up in, regardless of the punching power of Wright. He's a better fighter in the middle of the ring than coming off the ropes.
A piston-like combination by Jason Papillion, relatively ineffective as Winky Wright, an outstanding defensive fighter.
Papillion's starting to pick it up a little bit with those body shots, and that scores points and will get the judge's attention if he continues to do it.
Bill Connors, the third man in the ring. Little to do so far as the two fighters have been pretty much at a distance. Papillion tries the combination again inside, but Winky Wright wriggles his way out of there and again has Papillion against the ropes.
No feeling out process in this round, Jeff. Obviously, he decided it was time to fight.
Somewhat measured pace by Winky Wright, who lands 2 big shots in combination. Right jab has been an effective tool for him so far, and he followed that with a good solid left hand.
Papillion's getting in his shots. He's going to the body and occasionally to the head.
You mentioned the common opponent. Real tough customer, Bronco McCart. It's impressive that Winky Wright was able to defeat a fighter of that caliber on a couple of occasions. Jason Papillion on the losing end of his 2 fights with that same foe. Papillion starting to connect a little bit with the jab, but he's firing his shots while backing up, and Winky Wright lands a solid right hand to the body.
Well, a good right there as he's got Papillion against the ropes again, and Papillion gets lazy. Now he comes out, and you can see as soon as he gets into the middle of the ring, he lands a couple of combinations, some picked off by the gloves of Wright, others that got through.
Final minute of round number 2 of this scheduled 12-rounder. See that Winky Wright very subtly, almost in Roberto Duran type of fashion, gives you a lot of weird angles to punch at. Very difficult target to hit and hit solidly.
Well, for Wright to, for Papillion to be successful here, he's going to have to get out of the corner, get off the ropes, and get off first. And it seems the only time he gets off first is when he's in the middle of the ring, like there.
He's also dealing with the enigma of trying to take a man's title. And if he's going to try and do it backing up, he's going to have difficulty because there is a natural tendency to award decisions to the reigning champion in this type of fight.
Plus, judges, even though they maybe shouldn't, seem to give more credence to headshots than body shots.
Final 10 seconds of round number 2. Papillion trying to rally, but not really landing any flush blows here in the final moments of this second round.
What you need to do. Hit them arms, man. Them arms right there for you. Beat that jab arm down and beat that jab arm down. Take it up. All right.
Getting set here for round number 3. A close fight so far. A little to differentiate between the 2 fighters. However, I did give Winky Wright both the first and second round on my scorecard.
As did I. He's landed more. He's been the aggressor. And Papillion just seems to be too content to be fighting backwards and to hanging around the ropes, which is where he is right now. And he just took a body shot.
Winky Wright appears to be very coolly executing his game plan. He goes downstairs, and that one might have been a little bit low, but it was effective nonetheless as Connors, the referee, let it go, and Wright continues to wail away to the midsection of Jason Papillion.
Watch ahead.
Good solid combination punching by Winky Wright. Very effective to the body and seems to understand the basic principles. Well schooled early on and understands that you have to take some shots to the body, especially in the early stages of the fight. A patient fighter. You see him drilling away, continuing with that right hand to land almost at will to the body and now upstairs.
Well, he's definitely starting to assert himself against Papillion, who has probably taken more clean shots to his head in this round than in the other two put together. This is a tactician's fight, but Papillion is just getting hit too many times first, and that's not going to help his cause, especially in trying to dethrone the current IBF junior middleweight champion.
There are a lot of boxing fans that feel that Ronald Winky Wright got jobbed a little bit when he lost a controversial decision to Fernando Vargas back in '99 in a bid for a championship in this division.
Well, if Vargas beats De La Hoya and Wright wins here, he might get a chance to atone for that.
Winky Wright continues to come forward, establishing that right jab early in this fight, and having more and more success with it as the fight wears on. Minute to go in round number 3.
Generally, when you're fighting a southpaw, right-handed fighters have a lot of success with right-hand leads. Wright told me before the fight that he thought that he could land that right-hand lead, but he hasn't been throwing too many of them.
Slight clash of heads here as we come inside the final minute of this third round. Doesn't appear that any significant damage was done to either fighter, and Bill Connors acknowledged that it was an accidental headbutt on the part of both men. Papillion tries to hit the arms as his corner advised him, and that's about all he's been able to hit.
No, this is probably as one-sided a round as there's been in this fight, and I agree with you, Jeff, that Winky Wright has been on the winning end of all of them.
Good double up of the right hook by Winky Wright. Papillion finally lands a grazing blow to the face.
Wright has good defense, though, as you pointed out earlier.
Excellent tactical fighter, Ronald Winky Wright. Inside the final 10 seconds here of round number 3. So far, the champion putting on a display as to why he deserves to wear the belt.
Suck it up. I know you're in shape.
Here's a look at that headbutt that Jeff alluded to towards the end of the third round. Papillion seemed to have more discomfort as a result of it than Wright. Another look at it from a different angle.
Second shot.
Jason Papillion trying to figure out a strategy that can get him into this fight. Nothing particularly damaging as we head into round number 4 of the scheduled 12-rounder, but a steady, well-planned attack by Winky Wright has him in command at this point, at least on our scorecards. He opens up round number 4 as he has the previous 3 by tossing out 3 stiff right jabs. Papillion still hasn't solved the problem, and as you mentioned, Ed, I want to go to some